Good morning, children. Already we have studied about one invertebrate animal. An example I said leech. So next we have already in the previous class we have seen the morphology of vertebrate animal, that is rabbit. So we have seen the morphology as well as the body cavity. Now we have to see the digestive system. There are many systems we are going to see in this chapter. One is digestive system. Digestion, the food what you have taken, that complex substances can be decomposed into simpler substance into many process, many stages. That is known as digestive system. Your digestive system together known as, that is, it commences from alimentary canal. What are the things seen in the digestive system means, it starts from alimentary canal and with digestive glands. Then the digestive glands, they secrete the enzymes and makes the substance easier one. What are the parts present in the alimentary canal? First we have to see mouth. Next to mouth, buccal cavity. It is the opening of the mouth. The buccal cavity we can see two jaws. Upper lips you have to see. The buccal cavity, what are the things we have seen? Lips, upper lip and lower lip, and in between the jaws. In between the jaws we can see the muscular tongue, which makes the food to rotate. And in the jaws we have seen the teeth. There are two kinds of teeth. They are known as diphodont. That is, on the stage of appearance, we can say the two kinds of teeth. That is permanent teeth, and what are the teeth we will see here? Permanent teeth and temporary teeth, milk teeth. Milk teeth. Milk teeth, as usual, how we are saying for the human beings, the same like it's for temporary stage only. Permanent teeth will be till last. So here we can see all the teeth, that is incisors, molar, premolar, molar. Canine is absent. So these four kinds of teeth together, it is known as heterodont. Heterodont structure of teeth. Four kinds of teeth are the. Next to the teeth, it enters after the buccal cavity, it goes to esophagus. Esophagus is the food canal. From the esophagus, it leads to intestines. It's not clear here, let me write this. Esophagus leads to intestines. In between the esophagus and intestines, esophagus and intestines may be two, that is smaller intestine and larger intestine. In between the intestines, we can see a special part that is known as cecum. Here, what is a special type of bacteria? Because already I said rabbit is herbivorous animal, it eats only plant. So cecum in between the intestines, and it creates a special kind of bacteria. That bacteria helps the food, cellulose food, to digest. Cellulose can be seen only in the plants. So these cellulose can be digested by presenting a bacteria. Intestines, larger intestine and the smaller intestines. The food what is kept into the mouth, it goes to buccal cavity, esophagus. From the esophagus, digestive it enters to intestines. Intestines may be smaller and larger. There are two kinds of intestines. So here cecum, I said, bacteria act on that and makes the food, cellulose food, to digest, and it's absorbed by the larger intestine. This is the process of food digestion. Is it clear for you? So what are the parts? So what are the important words you have to underline? That's why you should have a book in your hand while taking class. How we have to do in the school time, the same like we have to be. So take the books and underline the important points. What are the things possible by yourself to learn? That's at the back of the book. So you can learn by yourself. Don't listen only the classes. You have to learn also. Clear, children? So next to digestive system, we have to go for respiratory system. Is it clear for you all? What are the parts in that? It's clear. So all the parts you have to write. The food goes to every stages and finally it is digested. And intestines, in the larger intestines you can see rectum and anus. Here intestine, smaller intestine. Here what I said, larger, the larger intestines, you can see rectum and anus. The waste materials are sent out through this. These are the parts present in the digestive system. It's the longest process. The food is converted, digested and converts into energy. Clear? Shall I go for the next one? Next system is respiratory system. Next one is what I said? Respiration. What's the meaning of respiration? It is nothing else, the exchange of gases. Exchange of gases. The lower classes, the lower animals, it is by diffusion. But in the higher animal, that is like rabbit is mammal, I said. So while you are going to the parts, you have to recall what all we have studied. What are the characteristics of mammal? It has epidermal hair and mammalian glands, diaphragm. These are the special features of mammalian animals, mammals. So respiratory system, you know well, lungs. Lungs are very important for the respiratory system. Main organ of respiration is what? Lungs. Through the nostrils. This is exchange of gases. Respiratory system is respiration. What is? Inhaling oxygen and exhaling carbon dioxide. This process is known as respiration. So it occurs in the rabbit also. It inhales oxygen and exhales carbon dioxide by a particular organ. So what are the organs here? That is lungs, a pair of lungs. Then trachea is there. We have to see detail in this. So next respiratory system, this is the diagram. This is larynx, trachea and larynx, trachea, that is nothing else, vocal cords. So trachea leads to bronchi. These are two divisions of trachea. It divides into two. This is known as what? Bronchi. The bronchi, every bronchi enters into the lungs. This is right, that is left. It's not a pakka diagram, simple diagram. Okay, in between places they know, in between this place only you can see heart. That heart lies in between the two lungs. So we are not going to that thing, just I am explaining what it is. Both the lungs are there. Here bronchi, further the bronchi divides into bronchioles. Here you can see alveoli, that is air sacs. This is the structure of lungs. So through the nostril, the air enters into larynx, nose, nostrils, it enters. It comes to the trachea. From the trachea, the lungs, they collect the respiratory gases, that is oxygenated gases, deoxygenated gases. Oxygenated means pure. Oxygenated. Deoxygenated. let it write the thing. Oxygenated, deoxygenated, oxygenated, deoxygenated blood. Air. Oxygenated means pure. Deoxygenated, impure air, that is carbon dioxide. Respiration occurs in two stages, that is inhalation and exhalation. This is the exchanging of gases. So it's clear, children. Respiratory system, only few organs involved in this. The main organ is lungs, larynx, trachea, bronchiole, left lungs and right lungs. Oxygenated, deoxygenated blood. Oxygenated is pure blood, deoxygenated is impure blood. Exchange of gases is known as respiration, and between that is larynx is otherwise known as voice box. It's in the thoracic cavity. So here the ribs are there that produces a sound, voice box. And trachea is known as windpipe. So you can refer both the terms, either voice box or larynx, and trachea is otherwise known as windpipe. They help us to produce the sounds as well as respiration also. Clear? So, the very important point I forgot to inform, the lungs are, whatever the internal organs I said already in the 9th standard, 8th standard and whatever the internal organ, they are protected by the covers. So, here the lung is protected by a special membrane, that is pleura. Pleura is the membrane which protected the lungs. So, we have seen the two systems in the morning. One is digestive system. We have seen what are the parts involved in that. Next one is respiratory system. Shall we go for the other one? Next one is circulatory system. Circulatory system, which is the main organ here, heart, that pumps the blood. Heart, blood vessels, I said already, where is heart? It is located in between the two lungs. Also, heart also protected by three covers, that is known as three covers, I said, inner cover, outer cover, middle cover. The heart has four valves, it has four chambers. Heart has four chambers, that is ventricle and auricle. First, in the top you can see auricle and ventricle. There are two auricles, they are the upper part of the heart. This is downward. Two auricle, that is right and left. Right auricle, left auricle. The same like ventricle, heart is covered by, I'll say right. This is left auricle, right ventricle, left ventricle. Heart is covered by a special membrane, that is known as what? Pericardium. Before that I said about brain. This is pericardium. What is covered by 2 layers only, pericardium. In between the 2 layers there is a gap. The gap is filled by a fluid, that is pericardial fluid. Okay, yeah. It has 4 chambers, I said, 2 auricles, 2 ventricles. Auricles are classified into right and left, ventricle, right and left. The heart is covered by, heart is in between the 2 lungs. It is covered by a membrane, double membrane, that is pericardium. Pericardium, the membranes, in between the membrane is filled by pericardial fluid. Then this right auricle and right ventricle, right auricle and left auricle, both the auricles are separated by one wall, that is auriculo, that is both the auricles are separated, that is by interauricular septum. Both the auricles are separated by interauricular septum. The same like both the ventricles are, that is right auricle, left auricle, both are separated by interauricular septum. The same like right ventricle and left ventricle, both are separated by a septum. Septum means what? A division, that is interventricular septum. Interventricular septum. So right auricle opens into the right ventricle, right auricle opens into the right ventricle, left auricle open into the left ventricle. The ventricle and the auricle blood போகும். The same like right to right, left to left. They do not change the direction. அதாவது ventricle right, இங்கிருந்து blood right auricle தான் போகுமே வழியே left auricle க்கு போகாது. Okay, yeah. So both the auricles are separated by a small gap in between, that are interauricular septum and interventricular septum. This auricle and ventricle, that is right auricle, right ventricle, they both are separated by right auricle and right ventricle. They are separated by both the right auricle and right ventricle. They are separated by auriculoventricular septum. Auriculoventricular septum is otherwise known as tricuspid. Okay, that is both the auricles are separated by a septum, that is interauricular septum. The same like children, don't get confused. Auricle, ரெண்டு auricleமே separate ஆகுதுன்னு சொன்னா ரெண்டு auricle separate ஆகிறதால என்ன சொல்றீங்க? interauricular septum. அதே போல ventricles ரெண்டும் separate ஆகிறது interventricular septum. So blood passes from the auricle to ventricle. அது நான் next point சொன்னேன். That is right auricle இருந்து left auricle வரும், right auricle இருந்து right ventricle க்கு வரும். The same like left auricle இருந்து left ventricle, the blood flows like that. So this right auricle, when the blood goes to right auricle to left, the right blood flows from right auricle to right ventricle, it is separated by a septum wall, that is tricuspid wall. The same like from the left auricle the blood goes to left ventricle, that is bicuspid wall. Bicuspid, always otherwise known as mitral wall. There are semilunar walls. So these are the walls. Whenever the blood flows, the blood flows, it opens. After the flows, it closes. Like that, the process is carried over. Circulatory system, what are the main organs I say? Heart, blood vessels. Blood vessels you have studied in the lower classes. Arteries, veins and capillaries. Arteries, they are carrying over the pure blood. Veins, impure blood, that is deoxygenated blood. Capillaries, they are hair-like structures. They are fused together and become according to the place. So let us continue afterwards.